Nothing to do with your character or what you're like as a person. It's just contamination, some kind of conflict. So, with that said, I put out a shout earlier in the week and asked if the people to put up their hand for a coaching demo if they want to have a breakthrough. And I asked if there was a miracle and when you woke up tomorrow, everything in your practice was the way you want it to be, how would you know the miracle had happened? And a bunch of people emailed in answers to this and posted in the visibility group their answers to this. The person that I thought had almost what I think of as a kind of iconic answer to this question, which was I want a thriving six-figure coaching business that's consistently attracting my ideal client and allows me to continue making a meaningful impact and gives me the freedom to enjoy my life without the stress and overwhelm. I was like, I must have heard something like that from 1,000 coaches over the years. So I thought that probably is something that other people are going to be able to relate to. If you relate to that, type relate in the chat and we'll see if my guess was good. And if it wasn't, I'm still going to work with you, Annabelle. So Annabella, so relax. Okay, so it's as I thought. Lots of people relate to that. So that's good. So Annabella, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Right on. So just for everyone else, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to coach Annabella. Annabella and I haven't met before, I don't think. Have we met before,
No,
Annabella? No,
no.
we haven't met before. No money has changed hands before this. I'm going to coach Annabella for the next 10 to 20 minutes. All I would ask you guys is please sit on your hands. Don't type anything into the chat. Even if you've got super good advice for us, please keep it to yourself until we've done the coaching session, because I want to create a space for me and Annabella to work in. And so we're going to do that for 10 to 20 minutes. I'm going to do whatever I can or whatever makes sense to me. Annabella's going to get whatever she gets. You guys are going to have a good time watching and listening. And then I'll take questions and we can talk about it and explore and do some other stuff as well. Sound good? Okay. So Annabella, obviously you posted what you
I
posted
did.
a few days ago. As you sit here right now, what would you love to create? What would be a wonderful outcome from this conversation?
Oh, I guess clarity as to, I was going to say what I'm doing wrong, but what could I do that would create the next steps to me creating that life where I'm have that financial freedom and that lovely steady flow of clients. Um,
Beautiful.
because I definitely don't have it at the moment.
Okay, well, what's going on at the moment?
So at the moment, so I'm a therapist and coach. I've been doing it for 9 years.
Hmm.
I'm not even close at the moment to being a six-figure coach. I've had close to five-figure months, but it's feast and famine, goes up and down. Most of my work comes from referrals, and I think honestly, I've tapped my referrals out. And so now I'm kind of playing catch up online, kind of trying to get some things from there and not really succeeding.
Got it. And uh, if you've had occasional five-figure months,
Close to.
close to, so four high four-figure months?
Yeah, like eight or nine, something like that.
Okay, so at the risk of being an annoying twat, you said I haven't even come close to having a six-figure practice, but actually, if you've had 8 or 9 grand months, then that's very close to having a six-figure
I
practice.
guess so, but it
A
hasn't
six,
happened very
well,
often.
just to be just well, the reason I'm being very, very specific with this is I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, obviously, but by the same token, I don't want to underplay what
Yeah.
you've already accomplished. So I've taken 100,000, divided it by 12, and I get 8,333 pounds a month. So it, pro rata, an 8,400
Yeah.
pound month is a six-figure year. Pro rata. Now, I totally understand you haven't been getting the systems in place or whatever it is that needs to do that
Mm.
repeatedly. But I just want to acknowledge something, which is if you're doing 8 or 9 grand months, then there's a bunch of stuff that you've already got going on that's working for you.
Mm. I mean, it hasn't happened very often, but thank
Okay,
you.
thank you uh, for stopping me from getting carried away. I'm not saying anything about how often it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm saying to have one such month
Yeah.
means that there's a bunch of stuff you're doing right. And I'm going to suggest that part of that is a function of you've been doing this for 9 years and you're clearly having an impact with people.
I think when I'm working with, I believe that when I'm working with my clients, and that's why I get those referrals back, is that I'm very confident in what I do. I do believe I get a great transformation for them. And there are some of my clients who definitely talk to everybody and say, hey, you've got to work with, so, that kind of wonderful
Yeah.
clients we all love. But I don't know. In the last few months, since February, I'll just say since February, it's kind of quietened down a bit. But that could just be a mindset. That's a story I'm telling myself, I guess.
Well, maybe, who knows? Let's dive in. So, uh, a couple of things in what you wrote was I want this so I can have the freedom that I want without the stress and overwhelm.
Yeah.
And the thing I was curious about is what's your best guess at where freedom, stress, and overwhelm come from?
Can you clarify what you mean?
Well, I'm asking you to clarify what you mean. Like you said, I'll quote you. I'll quote you.
So what
So,
that means to me.
well, no, I'll see if I can clarify it as well.
Okay.
So, what I read was I want a thriving six-figure coaching business
Yeah.
that's consistently attracting my ideal client. Who's your ideal client, by the way?
That's a good question.
Oh, okay, got it. So that's all I needed to know. It got consistently attracting my ideal client and allows me to continue making a meaningful impact and gives me the freedom to enjoy my life without the stress and overwhelm. Well, you said gives me the freedom. So, for instance, if you were sitting there in handcuffs and your practice had the key to releasing you, I would understand what that means. What does it mean in the context of what you wrote?
Freedom from financial stress, actually.
Got it.
So I find financial stress to me is just horrific. I absolutely hate it. And
Got
there
it.
are some months where there's just not enough coming in to pay what I need to go out.
Okay, so I totally understand what you mean by not having enough coming in to pay what's going out. So that's a practical
Yeah,
bookkeeping matter, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
that's just and so that's kind of numbers on a screen, but there's a practical implication of it as well. If
yeah,
you have a massive I don't know, vodka bill or something, and you haven't got enough to cover, whatever it might be, whatever. So, but here's my question. That's the practical reality of anyone's incomings and outgoings, right?
yeah,
What's your best guess at where financial stress comes from? Because financial stress sounds like a thing, but I'm guessing it's actually stress, and the thing you're worrying about is money.
yeah. It comes from me.
Okay, when you say it comes from you, what do you mean by that?
Well, I guess I create it
How do you do that?
by not doing what I probably should be doing every day.
Oh, okay. I've got a slightly different perspective on it. Would you
Okay.
like to hear it? Well, because
I'd love
I've worked with some very broke people, and I've worked with some extremely wealthy people, and I've worked with very broke people who suffered what you call financial stress, and I've worked with very broke people who had zero financial stress. And I've worked with very wealthy people who had
have
massive
fun.
levels of financial stress. In
Yeah.
fact, some of the worst financial stress that I've seen was in people who couldn't spend all their money in a lifetime if they wanted to.
Mm.
So it looks to me like the feeling of stress is telling you something,
Yeah.
but it's not telling you what you think it is.
So it's telling me to go out there and to spread the word and to help people.
Well, that's not what I think it's telling you. Would you like to hear what I think it's telling
Yes.
you? I think it's telling you that in those moments that you're experiencing financial stress, you're using your mind in a way that hurts and doesn't help you.
Yeah.
It's not telling you anything else. It doesn't know anything about your financial future or about what you should be doing or any of that stuff. It just knows that sometimes, Annabella, you use your mind in a way that hurts and you believe it's got something to do with money.
Interesting.
Now, is that interesting, like the sort of thing people say when they look at a oil painting and they can't tell whether it's a bicycle or a bunch of flowers?
I'm still laughing at the cat joke and the cards at the top of my head. No, and it's interesting in that I haven't thought about that.
Well, that seems important to me because here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's not important to pay your bills or, you know, live within your means or whatever makes sense to you. Like there are a million different ways of looking at your financial situation. And I'm not saying that there might not be really practical steps to take when
Yeah.
it comes to finding good clients for you and all that sort of thing. So I'm not saying anything about that. What I'm saying is that if you believe that the feelings of stress and overwhelm are giving you information about your financial situation, that's a mistaken signal.
So what is it giving me information?
It's giving you information about the creative power of the mind in the moment. It's giving you information about the kind of perception. You'll know this. You're trained as a therapist, so you'll understand that as you look around the office that you're in, for instance, it seems like we're looking out through windows in our head at the walls and
Yeah.
out the window, but actually data's pouring in through our senses, then we're generating a
Yeah.
perceptual reality.
Yeah.
So when we generate a perceptual reality, which is something we're doing every moment of the day, right, and the night, when we're generating a perceptual reality, the that perceptual reality has a feeling tone to it. And that feeling tone tells us about the kind of reality we're walking around in. Are we in a stressed reality or a peaceful reality? Are we in a insightful, creative reality? Or are we in an angry, tense reality? Are we in a worried reality or a joyful reality? It's letting us know what kind of reality we're creating. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Like, do you ever have clients? You ever had a client with anger issues?
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that clients with anger issues, the angrier they feel, the cleverer they think they are?
Yes.
Like they think if they're really pissed
They're
off at
right.
someone, they think, yeah, they think they're really smart, right?
Mm.
But you and I know that the angrier they are, the dumber they are,
Yes.
right? So they're trusting their self-evaluation when they're in no fit state to evaluate it.
Mm.
That's you when you're stressed about money.
Yeah. So it puts me in it puts me in a state of survival. So it could be fight, flight, freeze. I mean, I think I'm lost in freeze, I would say.
You're what? Lost and freeze?
Yeah, a lot in freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense to me. Now, here's the interesting thing, Annabella. Down at my local park, there are rabbits, right?
Yeah.
The rabbits run around and they play and they eat carrots and vegetable matter and that sort of thing. And once or twice a day, they have to run for their life from a dog or a hawk or a car, right? They have to run for their life. And they go into intense fight or flight.
Yeah.
They don't go into freeze because rabbits, if they freeze, they get eaten. So they don't
Mm.
go into freeze, but they go into their version, which is run away. So they do
Yeah.
that. And they do that once or twice a day. But they have no stress related issues whatsoever because they've
Wow.
got a fight or flight system that's been evolved over millions of years to be used a couple of times a day with no negative effects at all,
Yeah. Wow.
but only in response to a real life threat to life or limb. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you, on the other hand, from time to time, use that fight, flight, or freeze system in response to completely mind-made situations that are not a threat to your life or limb. We don't even have debtor's prison in this country. Are you in the UK?
Yes.
So we don't even have debtor's prison anymore. You can't be
Mm,
sent to jail for not paying your bills. So, and you're not going to be thrown out on the street or that sort of thing, or it's pretty unlikely anyway. And
mm.
yet you're responding as though your life is in threat.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Well, that's a trick of the mind. And the problem you've got, Annabella, is either you see that for what it is, or you're at the mercy of it.
Mm. I prefer the first one.
Well, me too. Me too. And like as I sit here right now with you, my guess is this. When you've got a clear head, the next steps are obvious,
Absolutely.
right? And when you don't have a clear head, anything could you do could be a step in the wrong direction, right?
Mm.
So what are you noticing right now?
Well, I feel a lot calmer.
What do you make of that?
That you're a magician.
Well, that is true.
Or you do card tricks. Yeah, and I do feel a lot calmer, and that makes complete sense. And I think I need to work on my nervous system a little bit, perhaps.
What did you hear that makes complete sense?
That when I am calm and I let go of that fear, I get that clarity in my mind
Yeah.
that allows me to know what to do next.
Yeah, that's and I'm going to suggest that you have an innate source of clarity and wisdom that will guide you unerringly in what the next
I
course.
know I have. I know I
Yeah,
have.
right? Like you're not
Yeah.
as I
Yeah.
listen to you describe what you've already accomplished and the referrals you get and all that sort of thing. Of course you know that. Of
Mm.
course you know that. My guess is that until now, you may not have seen it as something that's systemically reliable.
Yeah, totally.
And it is.
I don't trust myself. I don't trust it.
Well,
I
no
mean,
one
I do
does when they're
trust it.
freak. I
I
know.
do trust
But
it,
when
but I
people are
don't trust
freaking out, that's why if you're in a some disaster or something, the first rule is don't panic because they know everyone knows that no one makes good decisions when they're panicking, right? So this is
yeah.
nothing new, but it's important. It's interesting. There's a piece of research done by these Harvard. No, it was published in Harvard Business Review, called uh, state of mind and perform the link between state of mind and performance, something like that. I'll find it just a second. So basically, these three researchers, check this out. Check this out. I'm going to show you this actually. So when are you most productive in getting your best ideas? What states, Annabella?
I would say probably not euphoric, 'cause I should probably just be dancing around the room, and I'd say more kind of happy and energized, excited.
Beautiful. And when are you a danger to yourself and others?
I would say when I'm hopeless.
Yeah. So what the researchers found, they interviewed like 750 people, executives mostly. They found that when people were calm, happy, and energized, they were massively productive, good ideas, all that sort of thing. And it spread to other people. And when they were frustrated, anxious, tired, and stressed, danger to self and others, right?
Mm. Mm.
I'll share this in the chat actually, just a second. Everyone can have a copy.
Is that in your book?
It's in the book Results. It
I have got
may
your book
It
somewhere.
may have made it into the second edition of Clarity, but I cannot remember at the moment. This is a handout for my Clarity certification training. I've just
Oh.
put that in the chat. Nice one. It's a good book.
Second edition.
So I'm going to suggest, Annabella, that, and by the way, this is fundamental to how I work with people. Before we even try and figure out what are the next steps, step one is get a clear head.
Mm.
So, like if I was to ask you right now, as you just touch base with what you know about the things you're already aware of that have made a difference in terms of generating income and making a difference to clients and all that sort of thing. What's the obvious next step that you can see in front of you?
In terms of what I'm not doing at the moment, is because when I work with clients, provide the excellent service and do all that kind of stuff. But I would say, in terms of what I'm not doing, is probably, I would say, probably showing up, having systems, probably. So perhaps um, showing up every day and perhaps doing lead generation, or using my people that I work with already more, so asking for referrals from them, actually asking them as opposed to just waiting for them to come up with them. um how am I doing?
I was just, of all the things you said, asking people for referrals rather than just waiting for them, that had more juice to me than systems and lead gen. As you said, systems and lead gen, I got a deep feeling of boredom that I think was coming from you, but may have been coming from me.
I
Whereas
think
when
it's coming from me.
yeah, yeah, I thought it was. Whereas reaching out to people sounded like it might be a little uncomfortable, or there
Yes.
might be a little bit of how to
Yes.
involved in that.
Yeah.
So what I've found over the years is we don't have time to go into it tonight, but there are some very specific practical things you can do that make it easy for people to give you referrals.
Okay.
And so it's worth learning about that.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing.
Um, I But yeah, I'd say the most important thing you can do relating to all of this um, is cultivating that sense of clarity and well-being. Here's the other thing, Annabella. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to pause, but I'll cycle back to you at the end. If I was to ask you what first sparked your interest in therapy, coaching, making a difference to others, I know without even asking you that you were touched by something and that you wanted to make a difference to others. And
Yeah, 100%.
it had an impact for you in terms of what you could give to others and what it meant for you and your life that you would be doing this, right?
100%, yeah.
And that had a feeling with it.
Yeah.
And that feeling is the thing you want to stay close to, because that's the thing that, if I'm not missing my guess, you think that getting a six-figure coaching business will give you, but
Mhm.
actually you've already got that. You just need to nurture it rather than putting it off till and that's where all the good stuff in your business has already come from.
I remember, you know, doing a couple of free sessions when I just got my qualification or whatever, and saying to someone, wow, if I can even get paid for doing this as well, it's like so amazing.
Yeah, that.
And I can get paid for it.
Stay close to that
Yeah.
because that's the thing that people respond to. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that keeps you close to why you're doing this. And that's the thing that will keep you close to the source of guidance and wisdom that
I
can
love
show
that.
you the next step unfolding in front of you.
I love that. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
You are so
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Complete for now?
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you for being a wonderful demo subject.